Prime Minister Narendra Modi's the ruling BJP party has been left without any serious struggles to its power in India. On the other side, the Indian National Congress, which is often called as the grand old political party, is fighting to get back on its track. The question is how a political party that was in power for more than 50 years after independence went down in recent years. The Indian National Congress is a political party that led Indian freedom movement with many great leaders against British. After independence in 1947, the first few decades saw the Indian National Congress almost complete domination over the political map of India. India's first Prime Minister, Pandit Nehru, took oath on 15th August 1947. Nehru went on to serve as Prime Minister for 17 consecutive years, winning 4 general elections in the process. Those were the years when India was more or less stable. The country began to progress in all directions with its new clear form of political system. And above all, there was a massive reconstruction of polity and economy. Prime Minister Nehru faced with many challenges with regard to the problems of poverty, employment, the linking of states to the nation, solution of language, tribal problems, the rooting of democracy, commencement of electoral process, sitting in a place of an administrative process, the development of science and technology, and the welfare of state. After the death of Nehru, many predominant Congress leaders were elected as the Prime Minister of India. Some important leaders were Lal Bahadur Shastri, Indira Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi, P.V. Narasimha Rao and Manmohan Singh. Among these leaders, Indira Gandhi and Rajiv Gandhi were daughter and grandson of former Prime Minister Nehru. Indira Gandhi achieved little in terms of institutional developments, administrative development and her far-reaching social-economic change. Her crucial weakness as a political leader was absence of any strategic design and long-term perspective. Indira Gandhi was shot by 2 Sikh guards who took revenge for the Operation Blue Star, where she gave orders to Indian Army to enter the Golden Temple to drive out the Sikh terrorists in June 1984. Rajiv Gandhi, son of Indira Gandhi, became the Prime Minister on the night of 31st October 1984, and he was the youngest Prime Minister of India. From October 31st to 3rd November, many Sikhs were attacked, who were the poor and lived in slums. Those were the people who looked Indira Gandhi as their leader and sympathizer. Around 2,800 people were killed. It has also been claimed that Congress party workers and some local level leaders were involved in assisting the crowd that attacked the Sikhs, and the police turned blind eye to what was going on. This allegation has sometimes been enlarged into broader charges that the Congress with directions from the top organized the massacre. The charge that is unfounded and has been impossible to prove. Rajiv Gandhi's term was known for its technology and communication developments in India by setting up of 6 technology missions. Within few years, Rajiv Gandhi was killed by a suicide bombing by LTTE in Sri Perumbudur. Death of Rajiv Gandhi gave sympathy votes to Congress in Lok Sabha elections, and Narasimha Rao formed the government. During his office, he took some radical economic reforms and brought down the caste and communal temperature, and also restoring normality in Punjab and improving the situation in Kashmir. But he failed to stop the demolition of Babri Masjid or to prevent the widespread rioting that followed. Sonia Gandhi took over as the party leader in 1998, 7 years after the assassination of Rajiv Gandhi, her husband. She served as the party leader for 22 years, which makes her the longest serving party leader in the history of Indian National Congress since its foundation. Under her leadership, Indian National Congress won the Lok Sabha elections in 2004. Dr. Manmohan Singh became the Prime Minister of India. Indian National Congress managed to stay in power from 2004 to 2014. During this period, Indian National Congress was apparently involved in many scams. In 2014, the Congress Working Committee announced its Prime Ministerial candidate as Rahul Gandhi. Even though the former leaders from Gandhi family were accepted by every section of people in India, but Rahul Gandhi was seen as an incompetent member of family against Narendra Modi. And in the minds of intellectual, Congress party became a family firm rather than a political party with democratic values. Resulted in BJP winning 282 seats in Lok Sabha elections and formed the government. Again in 2019 Lok Sabha elections, BJP won 303 seats and Narendra Modi became the Prime Minister of India for the 2nd consecutive term. Factors that led Indian National Congress to deep hole is its corruption, cronyism and high command authoritarianism. One of the family member will decide to pick the state head during the state elections, which led Congress to a defeat in Kerala state elections, where the party failed to announce its chief minister candidate before the elections. and the political confusion inside the party in the state of Punjab and Rajasthan. Congress party should organize the party with democratic values and realize its mistakes, and should look for someone in the room with more experience in the field and not someone who carries the surname of past legacy.